Hi guys, welcome to HOA Fight Club today. Again, my name is Raylene Schifano and I have been in my HOA for about 5-6 years. I started in 2014 and today I'm going to go over what fines and fees are. And I think most of us, when we move into an HOA, we don't understand the process of fining. I know when I moved into my HOA, the first fine I got, I was really taken aback. For a plumbing fine. How can anybody fine me for my plumbing? We own the plumbing. So that was our first fine of $250, which they can't fine us for the plumbing. The plumbing is not something that the board could fine people for, but they were doing it anyways. So what I suggest for people to do is make sure that they know what the rules and regulations are. Once I started getting fined, I got out my CC&Rs and I made a book that has all the CC&Rs and rules. So I started with the declaration in the front, went to the bylaws, and then went on to the rules and regulations. And then I also tabbed them and highlighted so that I would know everything there was to know about rules and regulations. Because once you're fined, if you don't pay that fee, you can put yourself into foreclosure. Most people don't understand the foreclosure process of HOA. There is two types of foreclosure. There's non-judicial and judicial. So judicial foreclosure, you get to go to court, you get to fight your case in front of a judge, and the judge makes the decision whether you get to be foreclosed on or not. With HOA, they don't have to do that. They can put a lien on your home and foreclose for a $50 fine. They can foreclose for a $25 fine. So I suggest you get your rules out and learn them very quickly. What I have done was I took a $50 fine and I put it on this sheet here so that people can understand what it takes. So if you take a $50 fine, it's not just the $50 fine. The $50 fine also comes with a $50 property manager's fee and a $10 processing fee. So that $50 fine is actually $110 according to our collection policy in my neighborhood. Then after the 15th of the month is a late fee of $50. So that late fee of $50 also comes with a property manager's fee and a processing fee of the $50 for the property manager and $10 for the processing fee. Then after 30 days, they add the attorney. So the attorney doesn't have to follow the Fair Collection laws. Seem familiar? Nothing is fair in HOA. So the attorney, because they can charge whatever they want, is automatically going to charge the maximum they can charge. In Washington State, that's $2,000. So now you have your original $50 fine and all the fees that they've added onto it. Then it just gets worse. After 45 days, they add a lien to your home. They don't even have to give you a notice because your resale cert that you signed for when you purchased your home is your notice of a lien. Then after 90 days, they can foreclose. So you ask yourself, how can they foreclose within 90 days? Well, you have to be 6 months past due of your assessments. Well, 90 days is only 3 months, and 6 months, they can't do it for 6 months, right? Wrong. They can do it because in 3 months, they can add up over 6 months worth of assessments. So if you take your fees, so what I did was add up all the fees that they're going to charge you, and it comes out to, if they do it just for the 30 days, it comes out to $2,330. Then the 45 days, the lien's applied at $250. Then the property manager's fee, then the processing fee. So by the time they get to putting that foreclosure on you, you owe over $2,970 within just a matter of 3 months. So if you get a fine, you're going to want to pay that fee just as fast as you can. And in that process, you're going to ask for a due process hearing. Most homeowners don't know that they have this right. What is due process? We hear due process all the time. Due process is when you get convicted or charged with a crime. So you know that when you go to court, or if you break the law in a normal circumstances, you get to have due process. Well, it doesn't work quite the same in HOA. So if you get a fine, you need to email the property manager right away and ask for a due process hearing. Then you get to meet with the board, give them all of your evidence, have all of the witnesses that you want, get to see who charged you with an offense, and get to present your case. Now that's how it's supposed to be. But guess who's the jury, judge, and executioner? The board. So if you're a homeowner like me who had difficulties with the board, when you go to court, HOA kangaroo court, you're going to be found guilty, and they're going to apply those fees to you anyways. So how do you win? Well, when I went to my due process hearing, well, the first one we went to, we didn't understand anything. So me and my daughter were almost hit by the board president with her car. So we had asked for a due process hearing because I was given a $100 fine for my daughter's foul language. Yes, she called the board president a bad name when she almost hit us with her car. I admitted it, I didn't lie. So they fined us $100 for the foul language. Not $100 to her for almost hitting us with the car or harassing us, just to us. So I didn't know about due process hearings back then. So when we went in, it was chaotic and nobody understood anything and we didn't understand anything. Then I started doing research. And as I found out, the board didn't even know what a due process hearing was because they had never had one. Our community was built in 1994. They had never had a due process hearing until 2016. Think about that. All the homeowners that have lost their homes to foreclosure had never had a due process hearing. Let me say that again. All the homeowners who had been put into foreclosure by this association had never had a due process hearing. So make sure when you get fined, the first thing you do is ask for that due process hearing. That's not going to guarantee that you're going to get off that fine, but at least you can say that you had the due process hearing. Then the other thing that I suggest you do is if you do get a fine and the board doesn't let that fine go, I suggest you take them to small claims court. In small claims court, it's you against the board. There's no attorneys, there's no one to help the board. They have to do it on their own. So if it's under $10,000 in Washington State, you can now take them to small claims court and do this without any attorneys. In the state of Washington, we are also working for legislation to make it easier for the homeowners so that it's a fair and equal battle. The attorneys in Washington State have made it almost impossible to fight against HOA and the associations. So if you want to be successful, you're going to have to learn your CC&Rs, make sure you know what the rules and regulations are, make sure you know what the laws are. I also have another book that I've made up that just has the state laws in them. You're gonna wanna know those too. But let me let you know this secret. In law, HOA law, it goes declaration, bylaws, rules and regulations, then the state law. Can you believe that? The state law is under your CC&Rs. So the declaration supersedes the Constitution. I know, crazy, right? How can anything supersede the Constitution? This is what I've been asking our legislators and our governors and our attorney generals. You want to know what? Nobody has an answer for me. They all violate the Constitution when they wrote these laws. The Uniform Act of Washington State completely violates our rights. So as a homeowner in Washington State or any other state, I would start getting your legislators' phone numbers and calling them up and letting them know that you're tired of legislators voting in uniform acts that violate the constitutional rights of the citizens of the United States. If they want to enforce the Constitution, they should enforce the Constitution for all, not just for those that they want to profit from. They're profiting from homeowners' demise. That's what the attorneys do. Attorneys should seek for improvement in the laws, not to take advantage of them for profit. So there's your lesson for the day. Have a good day. See you later.